My name is Ryan Hickory, and I'm a 6'7", 248 running back in left end out of California. And I'm known for being a hard runner because no one can bring me down. And I'm also known for coming off that edge and laying that boom on that quarterback all night. And I'm going to make sure they feel me every play. But going into our first game against Manteca, started off intense. I started off early with a 14-yard rush. But here, as you can see on 2nd and 14, Ryan Hickory gets that ball inside zone, and he will break one tackle, and he will go in with his first touchdown. And he was fired up with his teammates early. Not just on offense, but on defense, he's out there making big plays early on. But coming into Ryan Hickory's senior year, he has 0 offers, and I mean, he wants to work to get Power 5 D1 offers. And with that being said, you see he breaks away with a pretty big rush, and he is not playing. On 2nd and 4, he is a run stopper, and you cannot get away from him. Here, as you can see on 3rd and 10, he comes in and laid a boom on him and make the running back fly. Here, as you can see on 1st and goal, this is why you never give up. I get back up and get the sack after being tripped up, and I was fired up. As you can see, we going to win the game, and I had 15 carries, 183 yards, 2 total TDs. I also had 7 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. And after having 0 offers, I gained interest at left end in Fresno State, San Diego State, and Oregon State. And I also picked up some interest at running back in UNLV, San Jose State, and Nevada. After gaining some interest offers and feeling like the man, going into our next game against O1 Rialto, start off intense. I'm catching that ball out of the backfield, and I'm breaking tackles early on. Here, as you can see on 2nd and goal, Ryan Hickory goes in with the first touchdown early. And getting back on defense on 2nd and 7, the quarterback tried to escape, and I threw him to that ground. I'm not playing with you. But here, as you can see on 3rd and 10, they chop by me, but I get back up and I get to that quarterback with bad intentions and get a sack, and I'm not playing. I am fired up. Ryan Hickory is staying relentless, and he boom run him over. He is not playing. On that goal line, he is a threat, so give him the ball and he will put points on that board. On the next drive, getting back down to that goal line, you know who's gonna punch that ball in. Ryan Hickory. On 2nd and 11, I mean, he was having a night on boom. Oh my God, he goes all the way for 6. But he gets player of the game with 5 TDs and 2 total tackles. After 3 years of high school with no offers, I finally picked up my first one from UNLV. He said they'd love to have me down there at running back. Talking to schools throughout the day, UNLV, San Jose State, and Nevada is interested in me at left end. Things are starting to flow. I get 3 more interest offers in Hawaii, Nevada, and Arizona at running back. On to our next game against SW High School. Started off intense. On 1st and 10, I was at halfback, and I was toting that ball. And as you can see, I'm running you over early. Getting back on defense on 3rd and 7, I boom this running back. I am not playing. You're gonna feel me every time, but on 1st and 10, back on offense, as you can see, I catch that ball out of the backfield for 6. Going to the next play on 2nd and 10, I am a threat out of that backfield. I catch the ball again. I bring him over. I break another tackle and get up that sideline, but I step out. The goal line, you know who to get that ball to. Ryan Hickory for 6. Getting back on defense on 3rd and 8, I absolutely obliterate this running back. On 1st and 10, the quarterback had a read option, but you're not going anywhere. You're going for a tackle for loss. On to the next play, 1st and 10, I have a sweep, but I boom him. I run him over, and I get up, but he will hit me very low. Next time, I will stiff arm him. But going into the next one on 2nd and 4, I have another sweep, and I see nothing but that sideline, and I will hit it, and I have 1 man to beat. I make a miss, but they come and rally that ball. I wanted that box, but on that goal line, you know I'm going to bounce it outside, and I'm going to go in for 6. On 1st and 10, the quarterback isn't safe. I absolutely boom him. Ryan Hickory is going to break records as he booms the quarterback again and makes him do a flip. As you can see, we going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 3 total TDs and 5 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. That left end, I picked up an offer from San Jose State. And that running back, I picked up an offer from App State in Arizona. Being the man on campus, I picked up 3 interest offers at left end at UNLV, Nevada, and Arizona. I've also picked up some at halfback at Washington State, Utah, and UCLA. On to our next game against 0-3 SB Raptors. Started off intense. As you can see, Ryan Hickory hits that outside, and he will, look at that speed, he will go all the way for 6, and Ryan Hickory is not playing early on. On to defense on 2nd and 11, he is fighting to get to that quarterback, and he finally gets to that quarterback, and he brings him down. He was fired up, but going into the next play on 3rd and 18 to get off that field, you know he's going to get that quarterback with bad intentions. As you can see on 2nd and 10, he sheds that block and gets to that quarterback again. As you can see, we're up 21-0, and going back on the offense, I hit that hole with the inside zone. I say, get off of me, and I will carry you on my back, because I am strong. I mean, he is a load to bring down, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, I hit that hole, and he gets 1 man to run over, and I boom him. Getting down to that goal line on 2nd and inch, we have a read option. I go and I boom him and run him over to get in that end zone. Ryan Hickory is having an amazing game as he hit that hole, and he breaks out left, and he trips himself up, but he picks himself back up, and he will go all the way for 6. 2nd and 10, he just steps and rips and gets to that quarterback with bad intentions. Here, as you can see, I'm a 3-star recruit at left end and a 4-star recruit at halfback, and I end the game off with 6 total tackles and 15 carries and 226 yards and 4 rushing TDs. Here, as you can see, at left end, I pick up 3 offers from App State, Fresno State, and Arizona. Not only that, but at halfback, I pick up a dream come true offer from Alabama and a Clemson offer and a UCLA offer. On to our next game against 4-0 Los Angeles. Started off intense. Ryan Hickory had a sweep on 3rd and 2 and he hit that outside. And when he hit that outside, the speed that he has, he will not be catched. But as you can see, he shoestring me. I was almost going for 6, but I was absolutely fired up. On to the next play on 2nd and 3. As you can see, I boom him and go in the end zone for 6. On 3rd and 14, I lose the tackle and go get a sack from my team, and I'm not playing early on. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I boom this running back before he even got started. On 2nd and 7, I boom the running back. I'm gonna be in your head all night, and I'm giving out headaches, and I told him I want it all. Going to the next play on 3rd and 9, me being 6'7", I almost had an interception, but I bat the ball down. 3rd and 12, you cannot guard me. Another sack. Ryan Hickory is starting to get dangerous, but on 1st and 10, I go get another sack. You could tell I don't belong out here. On 2nd and 18, I bring this quarterback down again. On 1st and 10, to put the game away, as you can see, I had inside zone, but I absolutely boom him and running that end zone for 6. As you can see, we going to win the game, and I ended the game off for 3 total TDs and 7 total tackles. Things are starting to come in my favor. At left end, I picked up 3 offers from Alabama, Clemson, and USC. And at running back, I picked up an offer from Baylor. To our next game against 0-5 Napa. Started off intense. As you see, we get down to that goal line, and I punched the ball in. With all due respect, I'm coming down here for my respect, like I always say. And on 2nd and 11, I will take this all the way. I try to juke back inside later, boom on him, but I get tackled. As you can see on 1st and 10, they were trying to double team me, but I just couldn't get anything started on defense. Here going into the next play on 1st and 10, I run it outside, and as you can see, I boom him, I run him over, and I will try to juke, but I am out of breath. I gave it all I got, but going into the next play on 2nd and goal, I get a sweep play, and I literally walk into the end zone, and I was fired up. As you can see, going to the next play on 2nd and 11, the quarterback run out, boom him, and he was not going anywhere. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I dip and rip and get to that quarterback with bad intentions. As you can see, we're going to win the game. I ended the game off of 5 total TDs and 2 sacks. I picked up a dream come true offer from Utah, and I've also picked up an offer from Wake Forest. Going into our next game against 1-5 Highland. Started off intense. As you can see on 2nd and 6, I went to get that quarterback, but he somehow got that ball off, and they still got the first down. Going into the next play on 3rd and 13, I wanted to get off that field, so I got a sack on that quarterback. Moments later, as you can see, they punched that ball in for 6. But the team has never scored on us first, so how are we going to react? On 1st and 10, this is how I'm going to react. I get up that sideline and boom him. I'm not going to play with you. On the goal line, I lay a boom block. Oh my God. Ryan Hickory doing what he doing special, catching that ball out of that backfield for 6. He was losing the tackle and being aggressive all night as he go in with another sack, and he told him to come on. As you can see, we going to win the game, and I end the game off with 2 total TDs and 4 total tackles. That left end, as you can see, I pick up an offer from Stanford, and I pick up an offer at halfback from Texas. Wanted to play off round number 1 against 6-1 Tracy. Start off intense. As you can see, I hit him with a spin. Oh my God, and got a sack on the quarterback. I don't want to go home. On 4th and 2, I was pounding that ball, had an inside zone, and I was throwing defenders off of me. On 1st and goal, you know who they're going to get that ball to. Ryan Hickory as he going for 6. On 2nd and 2, I come down and boom, this running back. I'm not playing. On to the next play on 2nd and 7, things started to slow down, and I mean, they started to rally that ball. Me and Steve Merker just could not connect it, and things just started going downhill. On to the next play on 2nd and 10, I mean, I got tackled for a tackle for loss, and I don't know what's going on. I'm an athlete, but coach told me he cannot put me on defense because he needs me on offense, but we go on and lose the game. You can see I end the game off with 6 total tackles and 2 rushing TDs. I'm a 5-star recruit at left end and halfback. That left end, I picked up a dream come true offer from Ohio State Buckeyes. I've also picked up an offer from Wisconsin, but now I'm put to the toughest decision of my life. I mean, I had all these offers at left end. I don't know if I want to be a left end in college or a halfback, and look at all of these offers that I have at halfback. I have Power 5 top D1 offer. With this being the biggest decision of my life, I finally went over with my fam and figured out what position I wanted to play in college, and as you can see, I went with left end, and I'm committing to Clemson University. And with that being said, as you can see, I am 2nd string on that depth chart, and I am not here to play. On to my first practice, I laid the boom early on. Being a 2nd string left end wasn't easy. And with that being said, coach said I had to prove myself, and I'm gonna work my way up that depth chart. And as you can see, I was getting to that quarterback with bad intentions. But talking to coach after practice, he said you are doing well, and you could challenge for that number 1 spot next week. Going into my first game, I was getting a full college experience. I was riding the bench early on, and we were going against number 4 Georgia. And it's just the thought of knowing that you're going against a good team that makes you itch to get in that game. But here, as you can see, I finally got my chance in the 2nd quarter and just missed a tackle for loss, and I ended the game off with no stats at all. Coaches gave me the chance to move up the depth chart and be left end number 1, and as you can see, I laid that boom early on. That gave me most of coach's trust, but he was still mad at me for hitting the quarterback. But as you can see, hitting his running back, I win the position battle. And going into the next play, I wrap and roll pro. But after talking to coach after practice, he said, congratulations, you are now #1 on that depth chart. Going into our second game against FCS some bums, I came out early and boomed them with my first sack of the season, and I was fired up. This is a great start to my first start. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I laid this running back out. You're not going anywhere. Boom, this running back on 1st and 10. I'm not playing with you. Ryan Hickory is losing this tackle all night and goes in with another sack on the quarterback. Here, as you can see on 3rd and 4, I came in and oh my God, and we going to win the game. But as you can see, I ended the game off of 5 total tackles and 3 sacks. Going into our next game against 1-1 NC State, started off intense. As you can see, I was trying to work my way to that quarterback, but the tackle had me for a second, but I went in with a sack. But as you can see on 3rd and 20, the tackle had no knee bend, and I almost had an interception, but I dropped it. But on 1st and 10, I was in the zone. Now, boom, this running back. I'm not playing. But as you can see on 3rd and 8, I go in with another sack. And here, as you can see on 2nd and 3, I made sure to get to that running back before he got started. But on 1st and 10, I just keep coming unblocked and winning with another sack on Devin Laird. NC State started to drive down that field, but that didn't stop me. I still was getting to that ball with bad intentions, but they scored. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, they had a read option. The quarterback thought he was getting away, but you can't escape Ryan Hickory. I'm also like a magnet to that ball. On 1st and 10, we were gang tackling, but I come in and lay him down, and I got up like the man. Because I am. Going to the next one on 1st and 10, I boom this running back. No talking is needed. On 3rd and goal, when coach say get off that field, I will go get that quarterback. I'm a dog, but we going to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 8 total tackles and 4 sacks. We started this game against 3-1 Wake Forest. Started off intense. On 2nd and 10, I got to that ball. I dipped and ripped and got to that quarterback with bad intentions. Now I'm not here to play. As you can see on 1st and 10, I try to read and almost have an interception, but I will hawk him down for the tackle. I'm just completely a threat. But on 3rd and 10, as you can see, when I say go get off that field, I'm going to get off that field. We're going to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against 5-3 Syracuse. Started off intense. On 1st and 10 to get the game started, I went in and got the sack on the quarterback early. Going into the next play on 2nd and 18, shoot my hands, hitting my landmarks, and detaching myself and getting to the tackles, what all coaches teaching us. I'm not going to lie, this tackle was kind of strong, so I had to rip over and get to that quarterback, but I still got the sack. I was giving them trouble all night on 2nd and 6. I absolutely ran right past him and got another sack, and we going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off of 4 total tackles and 4 sacks. Our next game against 4-1 Boston College didn't start off so well. As you can see, I was getting blocked up early on, so I dipped and ripped and tried to get to that quarterback, but another player picked me up, but he still went in for 6. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, as you can see, this running back was trying to stiff arm my teammate, but I came in with the tackle. I'm saying textbook sound all game. As you see, we had a read option, and I stayed home for that quarterback, and he came right to me. Going into the next play on 2nd and 14, I caught that running back before he got started, and as you can see, we go on to win the ball game. And as you can see, I ended the game off of 5 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. On to our next game against 3-2 Florida State. Started off intense. As you can see, they ran the inside zone, and I came down and shut it down as soon as it got started. Going into the next play on 3rd and 11, as you can see, I came in with bad intentions and got a sack. I'm absolutely losing this tackle on 3rd and 14. I go in with another one, and I was fired up. 10 had that effect to freeze you, but going into the next play, I hit him so bad with another one, and I will break the school record with that sack right there. This is just amazing breaking records as a freshman. But going to the next play on 1st and 10, I get another sack, and he does a front flip. Getting out to that goal line, as you can see, Florida State finally scores. On 1st and 10, I freeze this tackle, and boom, this quarterback. I'm not playing. And on 4th and 8 to end the game, I boom this quarterback. Get off the field. As you can see, we go on to win the game, and I get player of the game with 7 total tackles and 6 sacks. Going into our next game against 6-1 Maryland. Start off intense. I hit him behind the line of scrimmage, and he did not get that first down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, me having the long arms that I had, I reached out and made the tackle. Going into the next play 1st and 10, I boom this quarterback. I'm not here to play. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I'm giving this quarterback trouble. I'm trying to take ACL, MCL out. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I boom this quarterback. Oh my God. And we going to win the game, and I end the game off of 5 total tackles and 3 sacks. Going into our next game against 5-3 Virginia. Started off intense. I mean, he hit that hole on the inside zone, but I got him before he got to the first. Going into the next play on 2nd and 15, I absolutely drilled this running back. Going into the next play on 3rd and 13, I come in and boom this quarterback. He absolutely flies. Going into the next play 2nd and 10, my recognition is amazing. I come over and boom the running back and made him fumble. Oh my God. As you can see, we're up 21-0, and on 3rd and 5, the quarterback gave it all he got and just threw the ball up, and he was wide open for 6, but we still going to win the game. And as you can see, in the game off of 4 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. On to our next game against 3-6 Georgia Tech, I'm coming out here for respect, so I lose this tackle early on and dive in with the sack, and I'm not playing. On 2nd and 6, I boom this quarterback on this read option. That right there really hurted that quarterback, but on 2nd and 5, I was in the zone and almost had an interception, but I dropped it. You can't forget he was an athlete, but going into the next play, he helped brings this running back down with his team. And he was running that ball hard, but on 2nd and 6, I lose this tackle and going with a sack on the quarterback, and we get a safety, and I was fired up. I boom this quarterback on 2nd and 4. 1st and 10, I was not being a player of the game. I was doing my own thing out there, but I still got the tackle on the quarterback. But here, as you can see on 2nd and 10, I hit him with a swipe and lose that tackle and get a tackle on on the running back. And as you can see, we're going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 7 total tackles and 2 sacks. Going into our next game, some bums, FCS, I start off at 10. I boom the quarterback early on. He has no room to get away from me. On 1st and 10, I dive at his legs, but he still gets the ball off somehow, but we still lay big hits. Going into the next play on 2nd and 3, I'm coming with bad intentions and get a sack on that quarterback. Here, as you can see, on 3rd and 11, I'm coming down again with another sack. Here, as you can see, it is a new sack holder, and Ryan Hickory is the new leader of 28 sacks. His stats is crazy as a freshman, but we're going to win the game, and I ended the game off with 3 total tackles and 2 sacks. Going to our next game against 5 and 6 South Carolina was a rainy one, but it started off in 10 with a boom on the running back. I absolutely didn't come here to play. On 1st and 10, I went and got a sack on that quarterback, and I'm not playing. Going to the next play on 3rd and 17, when coach say he needs you to get off that field, I will go get a sack for him. To the next play on 1st and 10, I had a zone, but I set this running back down as soon as he caught the ball. I mean, Ryan Hickory just loses the tackle every time, and he goes in with another sack. He is absolutely unstoppable, but as you can see, he lays another tackle on this running back before he gets started. Going to the next play on 2nd and 11, as you can see, they have a sweep, and I go and wrap and roll, and their gator rolls are paying off. And after being blocked up by this tight end, I let this running back go for a few yards, but I put him down as soon as I could get to him. We're going to win the game, and as you can see, I get player of the game with 9 total tackles and 4 total sacks. Going to the ACC Conference Championship against 10-2 Virginia Tech. Started off in 10, so as you can see, on 4th and 8, I went and got a turnover early for my team. We were already up 10-0, but as you can see, they have a read option, and the running back will take it in for 6 to get him points. On 1st and 10, I boom this quarterback with bad intentions. I'm not here to play with you. On 3rd and 14, I don't even give him time to drop back in that pocket. I'm coming with bad intentions to get the sack. And I have broken the school record on the sack, and I was absolutely fired up, but in the 4th quarter on 2nd and 2, I went and got another sack, and I wasn't playing, and as you can see, we are ACC Conference champions. Here, as you can see, I ended the game off of 4 total tackles and 3 sacks. As you can see, Ryan Hickory wins the Chuck Benarkey Award. He also wins the Bronco Nagurski Award, and he also wins the Vince Lombardi Award. As you can see, who's in? We are in the playoffs. Clemson versus Alabama. Here, as you can see, going into our next game against Alabama, we were not playing early on. I came out intense and got a sack on the quarterback early. 1st and 10, I dip and rip and get to that boom, that quarterback. I'm not playing. I mean, I'm having a breakout game. I am not trying to go home on 2nd and 16. I go in and get another sack. I'm doing nothing but put my team in position, but I was locked up, but then I spin and go into another sack. On 3rd and 3, to put the icing on the cake, I went and got another sack, and we are champions. And Hunter Johnson had an amazing game, and I ended the game off of 5 total tackles and 5 sacks. But as you can see, after knocking off Alabama, we are going to the national championship against Indiana. And going into our next game against Indiana, started off in 10s. On 1st and 10, I went in early and got a sack for my team. I was absolutely fired up. I told them they were not going anywhere, but going into the next play on 3rd and 21, I go and get another sack. I boom him. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I go in and get another sack. I'm not playing. It has always been a dream to go get a championship for my mom, but they go in and score on us. And that is not going to stop our momentum. On 1st and 10, we are hitting them behind the line of scrimmage. We're going into the next play on 3rd and 7. As you can see, I went and got a sack for my team, and as you can see, we are national champions. This has always been a dream come true. This is the end of Ryan Hickory's freshman year, and I mean, this was an amazing year. He is a champion. Going into my sophomore season, I boomed him early on and said, welcome back. I want another natty, so I drilled the quarterback, and coach is not going to be too happy with that. I'm him, so I boomed the quarterback again. He has to get better, coach. Getting later into practice, they ran an outside zone, and I wrapped and rolled him for a tackle for loss. But coach said, great job at practice, and you're in no danger of losing that starting position. On to our next game against number 7 Georgia. Started off in 10s. On 3rd and 11, coach said, get off that field, and I went and got a sack early on. And I'm here to break the record. On 3rd and 11, I boom this quarterback. I'm coming every play in all season, so you will have to fear me. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I come in with another sack. But this tackle is having a hard night with Ryan Hickory. He goes in and sling the quarterback to the ground. And on 2nd and 10, I boom him for a safety. Let's go. Here, as you can see, Georgia is having a really hard time scoring on us. And I mean, I don't even know if they should be in the SEC anymore because we own them. And this number 75 was stuck all night as I go in with another sack. And here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I start to drive off early with a big sack on the quarterback. And as you can see, I break the record early on the first game of the season. Break the school record on the 7 sacks in one game. 2nd and 16, to put the icing on the cake, I boom him again, and I was not playing. Here, as you can see, we go on to win the game, and I get player of the game with 8 total tackles and 8 sacks. Going to our next game against FCS, started off a little slow. As you can see, I was getting double teamed, but I got pushed to the ground, and that wasn't good. Here on 2nd and 9, as you can see, they were driving down that field, but I laid a big hit on the quarterback. And on 3rd and 10, I said, let's get off that field, so I wrap and roll the quarterback. But going into the next play, I laid a big hit on that running back. I wasn't playing. And then 3rd and 4, to knock them out of position, I boomed the quarterback. I said, let's go. We're 24-7, and on 1st and 10, I boomed the quarterback again to get us off the field, and that will put the icing on the cake, and we going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off for 6 total tackles and 4 sacks. Going into our next game against 0-2 Buffalo, started off in 10s. On 3rd and 5, I came out and laid that boom on the quarterback. He made him fly. Oh my God. Ryan Hickory said there is none of that going on today, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, I hit the running back and made him fall. And I was not here to play, but going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I hit the quarterback so hard the ball flew in the air. On 1st and 10, I stayed assignment sign and went and hit that quarterback. I absolutely drilled him. But when his team needs him on 2nd and 18, Ryan Hickory went and got a sack on the quarterback. But here, as you can see on 2nd and 10, I'm trying to take ACL, MCL out, so you better not hold on to that ball, and that quarterback chose to hold on to it. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I jump off sides, but I almost come away with an interception, but it was still a flag on me, and I didn't really respect it. So that made me angry, and on 1st and 10, I boomed the quarterback. I wasn't here to play, and he fumbled that ball, and as you can see, my teammate will pick it up and take it for 6. And after this interception, I boomed him and made sure that my teammate could get up that field. But I mean, I think I need to transfer to an SEC because it is too easy to get a sack. As you can see on 2nd and 10, I go and get another one, and this quarterback is feeling me all night. But here, as you can see, we go on and win the ball game, and as you can see, I get player of the game with 8 total tackles, 7 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Going into our next game against 4-0 Florida State. Started off intense. I laid that boom early on the quarterback, and he absolutely flew, and I told him he was going to feel Ryan Hickory all night. On 1st and 10, I shoot my hands and hit my landmarks and made the quarterback run into the back of the line. That still didn't stop Florida State from putting 7 on that board, and they went up early. It's 15-12, and we need to stop, and I laid that boom on the running back, but we still lose, and as you can see, I ended the game off of 4 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against 3-2 Maryland. Started off intense. They had a read out, so I boomed that quarterback early on to show him who Ryan Hickory is. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I go and boom him. I'm here all night, and you will fear me. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, we had a screenplay, and as you can see, I will hawk it down and shoestring this running back. I made sure to get him, but on 1st and boom, I was laying to a little brother out all night. I made sure to give him a hard one, but on 2nd and 14, I'm flipping him again. As you can see on 3rd and 17, I go in boom. I'm knocking they screws loose, but on 3rd and 11, I go and get another one. On 1st and 10 to put that icing on the cake, I almost had an interception, but I drop it, and we go on to win the game. And as you can see, I get player of the game with 8 total tackles and 3 sacks. Going into our next game against 6-1 Wake Forest. Started off intense. As you can see on 1st and 10, I went and knocked the ball out of the quarterback hands, and it went back for a couple yards. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, look at my reaction time as I read this screen and put him down, and he dropped that ball. That was almost like a DB, but on 1st and 10, I went and wrapped and rolled this quarterback. I am not playing with you, Ryan Hickory. And he is him. But going into the next play on 2nd and 7, I will make a game tackle with my teammate. We were fired up, but going to the next play on 2nd and 7 to end the game, I go on to get a sack, and we go on to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 4 total tackles and 2 sacks. Going into our next game against 4-2 NC State. Start off intense. I mean, they were driving down that field, but as you can see, we got off that field on 4th and 5. Here, as you can see on 2nd and 13, I wasn't technique sound, but as you can see, I rolled back out and wrap and roll this quarterback for a tackle. But on 3rd and 10, I'm getting closer and closer to an interception, but I didn't. But I made sure to tackle him as soon as he caught that ball. But I'm not gonna lie, NC State was kind of physical. On 2nd and 7, I got pancaked, and I did not see that coming at all. When you do something like that, that fires me up. And on 2nd and 13, I went and got a sack and boom, that quarterback. I was fired up with my teammate. Here, as you can see, we're up 17-0, and on 3rd and 2nd, this quarterback was out, and I nearly had him. I was hawking him down, but I got tired and tripped over my feet, and he will go all the way, but we tackle him at the 1. And that's on me. I could have had him, but on 1st and goal, I lay that boom and knock him behind the line of scrimmage. Here, as you can see on 2nd and 8, I wrap and roll this running back before he even gets it started. On to the next one on 1st and 10, I come down, boom, this quarterback and made the ball come out his hands, and we go on to win the game. And as you can see, I end the game off of 5 total tackles and 1 sack. On to our next game against 3-5 Virginia. Didn't start off so well. As you can see on 3rd and 12, I got thrown out of the club completely, and this is just not like me. But on 1st and 10, I boomed him and made sure to get my get back. I was not going out like that, and they are gonna know who I am. But here, as you can see on 2nd and 9, I made sure to wrap and roll this running back before he even got started. This Virginia O-line is not playing with Ryan Hickory. They're just driving him out of the club. But that does nothing but hype me up. On 3rd and 9, I go in and get a sack. But that still doesn't stop Virginia from going down and putting 7 on that board. We're going to the next play. Look how much of an athlete I am. On 1st and 10, I got knocked out of the club, but I will come and regain and wrap and roll and make him fall to the ground. And we're going to win the game. But as you can see, I ended the game off for 4 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against 4-4 Georgia Tech. Started off intense. As you can see, I went in on 3rd and 7 and got a sack on that quarterback early. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I got double team and was on my knees. But going into the next play on 2nd and 15, as you can see, the running back had an inside zone, but with my long arms, I reached and dived at him. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I boomed the quarterback and took his legs out. ACL, MCL is gone. And I was fired up. And as you can see on 3rd and 11, I got him again and got my team off of that field. Here, as you can see on 2nd and 10, they had a screenplay, but I almost had an interception. I put him down, but we going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off of 5 total tackles and 3 sacks. To our next game against 3-8 Boston College. Started off intense. On 4th and 18, they were driving down that field, but as you can see, this quarterback steps up in the pocket. He trips over himself, and then he fumbles that ball, and you know who goes and recover that ball. Ryan Hickory. Hickory goes and covers it. And we were fired up, but I get boomed by this old lineman, and I don't know what is going on. But here, as you can see on 3rd and 8, I try to intercept this ball, but he catches it, but I put him down. I'm going into the next play on 1st and 10. I long arm this tackle and get to that quarterback with bad intention. But here, as you can see on 3rd and 21, I froze the tackle and boom, the quarterback and made sure the ball was inaccurate. Going to the next play on 1st and goal, I'm dipping, ripping, boom! Oh my God, he felt me. But going into the next play on 3rd and 1, I absolutely obliterate this quarterback and knock his buckles loose, and I was fired up, and we go on to win the game, and I get player of the game with 6 total tackles and 4 sacks. Going into our next game against 6-4 Syracuse. Start off in 10. On 1st and 10, I made sure this quarterback wasn't going anywhere. Going into the next play on 2nd and 6, I didn't even rush the quarterback, but I boom this running back. But that still didn't stop Syracuse from going and putting 3 on that board on 4th and 8. But we will attack back with 3. But going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I took his legs out early. But that still didn't stop Syracuse from driving back down and putting 3 on the board again. But going into the next play, I shoot my hands, detach myself, and get to that quarterback with bad intention. Here, as you can see, to put the icing on the cake on 3rd and 16, I went and got a sack, and we going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off with 6 total tackles and 2 sacks. Into our next game against 6-5 South Carolina. Started off in 10. On 1st and 10, I went and hit that quarterback, but he still got the ball off. And this South Carolina offense is not playing. I get pancaked, and I've got pancaked the last 3 games. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, I boom the quarterback and get a sack on him. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I boom him again, and I am not playing with him. Here, as you can see, going to the next play on 1st and 10, I get blocked up, but you never give up on the play. Ryan Hickory will hawk him down and lay a big hit on him. But going into the next play on 3rd and 2, I was not playing assignment sign. I did not contain the outside, but I did shoestring him. But going into the next play on 2nd and 2, I was getting no pass rush, but the quarterback was sitting back in that pocket and throws a dot, and the wide receiver dunks on our DB. Going into the next play, as you can see, I went in through this quarterback to the ground. He was my son. South Carolina was trying to strike back. They strike back with 7 points. As you can see, it's 20-14, and to put the game away, I was fighting to get to that quarterback, and I finally get to him to end the ball game. And I end the game off with 5 total tackles and 3 total sacks. On to our next game against 10-2 Virginia Tech. Didn't start off so well. As you can see on 1st and goal, they will punch that ball in. He was breaking all kinds of tackles early. Here, as you can see, going to the next one, 1st 10, I boom this quarterback, and he felt me early. This is the ACC Conference Championship, and we cannot lose. But as you can see, the quarterback puts it on the money, and the wide receiver goes up for 6. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of that pocket, but you're not going anywhere with Ryan Hickory. Going into the next one on 3rd and 11, coach said get off that field, and I boom that quarterback. He felt me. I mean, we just keep making mistakes on 1st and goal. As you can see, Virginia Tech, I missed the quarterback, and he runs it in for 6. Here, as you can see on 2nd and 8, they had an inside zone, but I made sure to tackle him before he gets started. On 1st and 10, he hit that hole so hard, so I hawked him down and hit him from behind. Pause. But as you can see, Virginia Tech goes on and win the ACC Conference Championship. And as you can see, I end the game off with 8 total tackles and 1 sack. But these are the final stats of Ryan Hickory's sophomore season. And after entering the transfer portal, I have committed to the University of Alabama, and Coach Saban said he needed me, so I said I'm coming. Going into my first practice with Alabama, Coach Saban said I needed to prove to him that I am the #1 left end. I told Coach I am, so I boom Bryce Young, and I said, Coach, he's gonna feel me. I don't care. And Coach Saban told me not to do that anymore, and I tried to go in and throw Bryce Young to the ground, but he just threw me off of him. He wasn't having it. I said that's a good one, but I'm gonna get you back. But instead, it's the running back. I laid it. Boom. Talking to Coach after practice, he said great practice, and you could challenge for that next string next week. Going into our first game against Virginia Tech, didn't start off so well. As you can see, I was riding the bench, and Nick Saban made sure to make sure his word. He's gonna make you earn that spot, which I totally have no problem of. I will earn that #1 left end spot. But as you can see, I finally get in and almost get to that quarterback, but he dumps it off to the tight end. The coach did not put me back in the game, so I ended the game off with 0 total tackles. Coach just gave me the chance to move up the depth chart and be left end #1, and I laid that boom early on Bryce Young. Coach told me to stop hitting him so hard, but I split the double team and get to him again with another tackle for loss. That won me my position battle, but I'm still gonna go out there and hunt for that balls and get another tackle. And as you can see, I'm now #1 on that depth chart. On to our next game against number 24 Texas A&M. Started off in 10, so 2nd and 10. As you can see, I got to that quarterback with bad intentions and wrapped and rolled for a sack. On 1st and 10, I'm a monster. I split the double team and get the running back before he gets started. This quarterback is in for a long night. On 1st and 10, I go and get him with another big hit, and I'm absolutely fired up with my teammates. I am not here to play. Here, as you can see on 1st and 10, the running back have a halfback draw, and I absolutely manhandle him. 3rd and 15, I pull some tricks out of my bag and hit him with a spin move and go get the quarterback with a sack. Oh my God. Ryan Hickory is having a night to remember. On 1st and 10, he long arms the tackle and go gets another sack. The quarterback has no room to breathe. On 1st and 10, he rolls out of that pocket, but you're not going anywhere with Ryan Hickory. He will contain at left end. He's a monster, but on 1st and 10, he booms the running back. He is not here to play, so you better watch out. He will be in your nightmares, but on 1st and 10, he booms the running back again for a tackle for loss. As you can see, we're up 10-0, and on 1st and 10, I will dip and rip and go get that quarterback with another sack, and we going to win the game, and I get player of the game with 10 total tackles and 6 sacks. On to our next game against 0-2 Colorado State. Started off intense. On 2nd and 10, I dipped and ripped and got to that quarterback and boom, and the ball came out of his hands. I will be a threat, and I will freeze these tackles. On 4th and 8, coach said get off that field, and you know Ryan Hickory's going to get that turnover for his team. Here, as you can see, going to the next one, 1st and 10, I club over ripping, get to this quarterback and sling him to the ground. And I own you, but going to the next one, 1st and 10, I absolutely dive and hit the guard and the quarterback at the same time. I get a sack on him. I told him to get up, but going to the next one, 1st and 10, I hit this running back behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle for loss, and I got up and said, let's go. As you can see, we're going to win the game, and I end the game off for 3 total tackles and 2 sacks. We are back at home, and going against number 22 Ole Miss, we have to start off intense, so I sling this running back to the ground, and I say, I own you, and I am not here to play with you. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I hit my landmarks and dip and rip, and he just cannot hold me, and I sling that quarterback for a sack. On 3rd and 10, I didn't recognize the screen, but I jump up and bat the ball down. Here, as you can see, on 3rd and 10, I boom this running back. I get through so quick. I'm a monster, but on 1st and 10, I split the double team and get to the running back for a tackle. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, this quarterback cannot escape me, and the tackle does not block me at all, but I go on for a sack. Here, as you can see, I can play nose and in. I will stuff this running back before he gets started. Now, I am a threat, but on 2nd and 1, as you can see, I stopped the running back before he even gets the first down, and we going to win the game, and I end the game off with 7 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against 3-1 Georgia State. Started off intense. As you can see, on 2nd and 10, I knocked this running back behind the line for a negative 5-yard rush. We start off intense, but on 3rd and 15, as you can see, my teammate knocks the ball out, and I just try to get on it, but I miss it, and they recover it. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I didn't detach myself quick enough, but I still went to go get the tackle. On to the next play, on 2nd and 5, you cannot run a screenplay on me. I will recognize it as soon as you throw it, and I hit the running back before he even gets started, and it actually turned into a negative 3-yard rush. I stared him down and said, come on, but on 3rd and 13, I boomed this running back. On 1st and 10, I boomed him again. I am not playing. I am here for my respect, and it will be given. But going into the next one, on 2nd and 9, I went and got the quarterback and threw him to the ground, and we're going to win the game. I end the game off for 7 total tackles and 1 sack. Going into our next game against 4-1 Kentucky. Start off intense. I dipped and ripped. Boom! Oh my God! I got the running back early. On 1st and goal, that still didn't stop Kentucky from driving in and scoring on us. As you can see, on 4th and 1, I could not get to that quarterback, but we were still making plays on defense and causing turnovers all night. We're going to win the game, but this was by far the worst game I ever had. I only had 1 total tackle. Going into our next game against 7-0 Arkansas, we had to prove a point and give them their first L, but I hit a spin and hit the quarterback so hard he fumbled that ball, but the offensive lineman picked it back up. And I kept my foot on the pedal all night, dipping and ripping to get to that quarterback with another sack, and I was so fired up all night. Here, as you can see, on 2nd and 4, I boom this running back. Oh my God, that one hurt him, and I knocked his screws loose. I was sure to give him headaches all night. On 2nd and 7, I lay another big hit on him, and I sure do on him, but on 1st and goal, they run that ball my way again, and he will not get in with Ryan Hickory. Here, as you can see, on 3rd and goal, I run the wrong angle of the quarterback. I could have had him, but they run a read option, pitch the ball, and he will punch it in for 6. And we're going to win the game. I end the game off for 5 total tackles and 2 sacks. On to our next game against 2-5 Tennessee. Start off intense. I mean, the tackle got frozen. I boom that quarterback early on. That's a way to earn that momentum. Boom! Oh my God, earn that momentum early on, and I was hitting all night. I will set something straight. They are gonna know my name, and on 2nd and 9, I stopped that running back from forward progress. Here, as you can see, on 2nd and 10, though, with the long arms I got, I reach out and trip this quarterback up for a sack. Going into the next one, on 1st and 10, I come through and boom! Oh my God, I made the quarterback fumble, but they will recover the ball. As you can see, on 3rd and 24, I boom him again. I'm not playing. That's a lot of hard hitting going on tonight. On 1st and 10, with the recognition I got, I almost have an interception, but I will put the running back down. 2nd and 10, I go in and hit the quarterback so hard the ball goes flying out of his hands, but it was not a fumble. But on 1st and goal, I come in hard and hit the quarterback and make him fall, but they still completed for a touchdown, and we going to win the game. And I end the game off for 6 total tackles and 2 sacks. Going into our next game against 3-6 LSU, started off in our favor. On 1st and 10, as you can see, I was staying assignment sound, and when the quarterback rolled out, I had containment and hit him and made him fumble that ball, and I'm creating turnovers early on. And as you can see, I was fired up with my teammates early. Not only me creating turnovers on that D-line, but as you can see, our DB catches an interception, and I will make sure that he's safe getting to that end zone and make sure to lay some blocks, and he goes in for 6. Here, as you can see, on 2nd one, boom, this running back. We are starting off amazing. Going into the next one, on 3rd and 10, I dive at the quarterback and make him fall. Here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I was getting blocked up, but when that quarterback rolled out of that pocket, I dived at his legs, and he got a 0-yard rush. Going into the next one, on 2nd and 10, I was not saying assignments down. You never spin inside, but I will lay that boom on the quarterback when he rolled out. I made sure to look him down, but on 1st and 10, I went in with another sack. That puts the icing on the cake. We going to win the game, and I get player of the game with 9 total tackles and 4 total sacks. Going into our next game against 63 Mississippi State was a rainy one, but on 2nd and 1, I boomed this quarterback, and he somehow got the ball off, and they went and got the first down. Here, as you can see, going into the next play, this tackle just couldn't hold me, but I went in with another sack, and this quarterback is gonna feel me. And I came in again hot, but as you can see, the quarterback quarterback breaks my tackle, but he will go on to get boomed. But here, as you can see, going into the next play, I'm coming in to take ACL, MCL out. So you better watch out. But on 4th and goal, that still doesn't stop Mississippi State from going down and kicking 3. But here, as you can see, on 2nd and 10, I lose this tackle and boom, this quarterback. I was not playing with them all night. And I told my teammate, let's go, and we will go on to win the game. And I ended the game off of 3 total tackles and 3 total sacks. Going into our next game against 8-32 SCSE, some bums. As you can see, he breaks a tackle on me early on, but my teammates will come and rally that ball. That was on me for not being as aggressive. But on 2nd and 14, I went in on this screenplay and didn't read it as well, but I still recovered and went to make the tackle. But here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, they had a read option, but I stopped it before it got started. Here, as you can see, on 3rd and 7, boom, this running back. You were not going anywhere with Ryan Hickory in that hole. I mean, he's a threat, but boom, on 1st and 10, he is not playing. Here, as you can see, we're going to win the game. And as you can see, I ended the game off of 4 total tackles. Going into our next game against 5-6 Auburn, started off intense. On 2nd and 11, as you can see, he tried to manhandle me, but I manhandled him back and throw him to that ground. And I got up, fired up, and said, let's go. But Auburn drove down that field, and on 1st and goal, they will punch that ball in for 6, and we have to retaliate. But here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I lay a big hit on this running back. I am not playing. We're going to the next one, 1st and 10, I got boomed. Oh my God, I tried to get a pass rush and going, but I got pancaked. And they will drive down that field again. And on 1st and goal, I'm sitting in my zone, but they will score another touchdown. But here, as you can see, on 1st and 10, I went inside and I was making mistakes, but I got back outside as quick as I can and hit that quarterback for a sack. We're going to the next one, 3rd and 3. I stopped the running back before he even got started. We're going to win the game. I get player of the game with 7 total tackles and 3 total sacks. Going into the SEC Conference Championship against number 6 Florida, started off a little weird. On 3rd and 14, as you can see, I get to the quarterback and he will get down, but he gets back up and makes a crazy pass, and I don't know how he did it. And we have to make sure that doesn't happen again. On 1st and 10, I break the double team and get to this running back and shoestring tackle him. I'm not playing early on. And we have to put a contain on this quarterback. On 1st and 10, the quarterback rolls out of the pocket, but I shoestring tackle him. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting blocked up. I cannot get off my block, but on 3rd and 4, as you can see, the quarterback runs it again, but I will wrap and roll him. Those gator rolls are paying off, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, I'm staying assignment of sound. As soon as he try to roll out of that pocket, I got a contain on him, and I will get him for a sack, and I'm fired up. To put the icing on the cake, on 3rd and 14, I will go and get a sack on the quarterback, and as you can see, we are SEC Conference champions. And this was not a bad idea to transfer. I wanted some more competition, but as you can see, I ended the game off of 5 total tackles and 2 total sacks. I also pick up the Chuck Benarica Award, and I also pick up the Bronco Nagurski Award, and I pick up the Vince Lombardi Award. And as you can see, we are in the playoffs, and we will go up against Utah. I wanted to playoff round number 1 game against number 4 Utah. Didn't start off so well. I mean, they were driving me out of that club, and the running back was running that ball really hard. But lately, they've been double teaming Ryan Hickory a lot, but as you can see, I shoestring tackle this quarterback. And here, as you can see on 1st goal, I absolutely misangled this running back, and he will go in for 6. Utah really kept trying. I mean, they went back down and put 3 on the board to take us 10-14. But overall, it just wasn't a too good game for Ryan Hickory. They were chop blocking him and double teaming, doing everything they can and pulling him away from plays. On 1st and 10, he had enough, so he threw this running back to the ground. But here, as you can see, going to the next one, 2nd and 10, I'm trying to get a pass rush in, but this quarterback is dotting us up, and they going for 6. But going into the next one, 1st and 10, I almost had my first sack of the game, but the quarterback just throws me off of him and throw the ball up, but it nearly gets intercepted. But here, as you can see, on 4th and 10, we are all rallying to that ball to get that running back to force the turnover, and as you can see, we will win playoff round number 1, and it's time to go. And as you can see, I end the game off for 3 total tackles. We will advance to the next round, and we will go against number 2 Ohio State. Going into the national championship game against number 2 Ohio State didn't start off so well. I mean, I just ran right past the quarterback, and he just threw the ball up. Going into the next one, 2nd and 10, I came in hot and thought I shut the play down, but they still somehow got it away, and they only got a 1-yard rush. Here, as you can see, going to the next one, 1st 10, I boom this quarterback with a sack. And Ryan Hickory is coming alive in the playoffs, and as you can see, he will wrap and roll this quarterback for a tackle for loss. To put the icing on the cake, I will hit the running back before he even gets started, and as you can see, we are national champions, and this is Ryan Hickory's 2nd ring. And as you see, in the game off for 3 total tackles and 1 sack, and as you can see, we are champs. And this is the end of Ryan Hickory's junior season. Drop a comment down below if you think he would declare for the NFL draft, or will he come back for his senior year.